Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Professor podcast. My name is Scott, and in this episode, we're looking at all the top point scorers and key talking points from Gameweek 15 Dream Team so far. After all the Premier League games have taken place, but we still do have Carabao Cup still to come this week. I'm going to start off with my team update. I'm currently 31st on the overall leaderboard. It says 28th on the screen, but there were a few point changes overnight. So I have dropped from 28th to 31st, but cannot complain about that at all. My moves this week got me 16 points over the guys that I took out. So I took out Kai Havertz and Dalot and replaced them with Isak and Joe Gomez. Now, I was debating between the two moves of either taking Dalot and Havertz out or Dalot and Mazraoui out. If I took out Dalot and Mazraoui, I would have replaced them with Gomez and Saliba. But I was thinking about the following week when I want to play my goal bonus, and I was thinking I probably am going to want Isak in my team for that game week 16 goal bonus. And if I'm going to get him in next week anyway, is it worth missing out on him this week where he does have two fixtures that he's likely to play in? And I didn't have a captain in my team that I was sort of adamant would play two fixtures this week. So I decided to take Havertz out this week, do that move early, bring Isak in, and then give him the armband as well. And then that move for Saliba could still come the following week for Mazraoui. So that's the way I decided to go for it this way. And it seems to have paid off, although Saliba did go on to keep a clean sheet. Isak has done really, really well with the armband. I'll start with my goalkeeper first. So Muric in goal from Ipswich. He did concede, but somehow he's managed to come away with 3 bonus points and 5 saves. So 7 points for a keeper of that price. You're going to take that every day. Mazraoui at the back, 5 points for him. So he was actually playing at wing back rather than in that sort of right centre mid role, right centre back role. And so had quite a nice battle with Doku, which saw him get quite a few tackles, 6 tackles in that game. So 5 points for Mazraoui is okay. But he is currently flagged now, probably unlikely to play that midweek game. So just so it goes that he was probably one of the players that I was going to take out next week anyway. So it's probably going to still be him come the start of next week. Timber at the back, so 8 points, that clean sheet against Everton. I was at that game, so nice to see Arsenal keep a clean sheet, but it would have been nice if we could have seen a few more goals from Arsenal. Gomez, who I bought in, 4 points. It was okay. They got a man sent off so early in the game, and we're going to cover all the games in a minute. But still managed to get tackle points. He did switch to left back once Robertson got sent off. So maybe we do see Gomez potentially playing left back in one of the future matches as well when Robertson is suspended. So we'll have a look at that as well. Bonus point in that one too. So yeah, not too bad. 4 points, not the best, but we'll take it. Saka, 11 ppm. So didn't get any attacking returns in this game, but what we say about Saka every week. So doesn't need to get attacking returns. He's so good at getting these extra points. So he's just 1 ppm off of getting the maximum bonus. Came with a free bonus in the end. Got tackle points, a big chance created, and a shot on target. So 8 points. Still a pretty good result for Saka. Bruno Fernandes with 11. So he got his penalty goal, tackle points, and a bonus. Odegaard really disappointing. You would have known that I was pretty unsure about him when I did decide to bring him in a couple of weeks back, and he's disappointed since I brought him in. So just the 4 points, and I'm not very confident that he's going to play in midweek either. So looking like a pretty bad transfer at the moment, Odegaard. Cole Palmer, 7 points. Again, a bit like Saka this week. No attacking return for him. But he's got 3 bonus points, shot on target, and a big chance created. He's just such a good dream team player to have. And then Isak, so captained him this week. So if I didn't captain Isak, it would have been Salah this week. Salah did get an attack and return himself, but not the kind that we'd like. Goal assist for Isak, 3 shots on target, 2 big chances created, and 7 ppm as well. You don't see many strikers getting bonus points as well. So pretty all-round performance from Isak. And yeah, pleased that I did make that change towards the end because yeah, if I went for Salah, 6 points, I feel more confident that Isak is going to get that second match. So we've still got to wait and see. But yeah, so far it's looking good. And then Haaland, a complete blank. So I know a lot of you were considering taking Haaland out this week, and it is just the 2 points for him. I still stand by that I do want him for next week for playing this goal bonus, but yeah, it's hard to ignore that he has been pretty concerning lately. If you have taken him out and then you do decide that you want to bring him back in next week, you're also going to have to take the price drop that he's going to get after this as well. So obviously, if you held him, you're going to get a double price drop, but yeah, it's not even ideal to just bring him back in for the double game week because you're going to get that minus 0.3 again. So yeah, not great, but I'm going to still stick with him. Salah, 6 points for the assist. It looked like it was going to be downhill as soon as they got that red card. He got the big chance created point as well, but yeah, it's always hard with 10 men. But Liverpool gave it a real good crack, as we're going to see as we look through some of these games. Drop a comment below. Let us know how you got on this game week. But let's go straight into the games and look at some key talking points and point scorers. So we'll have a look first at Liverpool versus Fulham. So as I said, I was at the Arsenal game and straight away whispers of a red card at the Liverpool game. It's funny how switched on everyone is to the other scorelines during these games, but heard straight away that Robertson was sent off. You had Alisson back in goal, Salah, Diaz, Gakpo as the front three, seeing Diaz as that sort of centre forward again. You had Jota and Chiesa back on the bench, so that could be interesting for the midweek games, and Jota went on to impact the game quite heavily. So Robinson got an assist for the first goal. Pereira at the back post after just 11 minutes. So like I said, that circulated around the ground pretty quickly. But yeah, just this time of the season, it's just pointless knowing what other teams are doing. It's December, and Arsenal are not doing great themselves. So yeah, it's a bit bizarre. But Robertson got the cross and Pereira was at the back post. And you could say that Robertson was kind of a little bit at fault. It was his man for the goal there. And then straight after that, Robertson then got sent off for denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So whether or not that mistake maybe played into his mind and obviously made him make a worse decision for that tackle, we don't know. I thought it was a red card, that Robertson one. I know a lot of people have debated it, whether or not the ball was really under control, and they did go on to have a goal scoring opportunity, but I still think that is a red card to me, that Robertson one. So Gomez went to left back, Gravenberch went into centre back. If Robertson is out, I said maybe Gomez might fill in at left back. So if you're like me and you did bring Gomez in, if Tsimikas isn't back available yet, then maybe we do see Gomez play there. So that could work out okay. Gakpo then got a goal assisted by Mohamed Salah. So Gakpo finished up on 11 points, 3 ppm, 3 shots on target. He does seem to have quite a few shots on target when he plays Gakpo. It was a deep cross from Salah and then Gakpo at the back post with a header. That's his 13th assist of the season for Salah, also having 16 goals. Then Gakpo's 9th goal of the season, 11 points. So him and Diaz, although they are rotating on quite a few occasions, both of them are getting plenty of goals. So if you are considering goal bonus, they may not start both, but they do seem to get on the scoreline. Robinson got his 2nd assist of the game to Muniz for Fulham's 2nd goal. And that's 6th assist of the season now for Robinson. Looking like a really good defender and someone that could probably do a job for Liverpool with Robertson potentially on the way out. So 2 assists for Robinson, 6 for the season. He's had 9 ppm, so got 3 bonus points and 5 tackles. And we were looking back on our Game Week 1 teams yesterday on the Dream Team Tonic podcast. And Robinson was one of the players that was in my Game Week 1 side because he is so good for bonus points, tackles, and his assists have been racking up as well. So maybe while European football isn't on, he could be a good option if you're looking for a sort of cheap defender through this period. Substitution again for Trent Alexander-Arnold in the 79th minute. So did go off early again. Just 2 points for Trent. It's a little bit disappointing. 1 bonus point though in this one. Maybe he plays in midweek after that early sub. And then you had Jota with the 86th minute equaliser. A really nice turn and finish from Jota, coming back off the bench after quite a long injury layoff. So he could start potentially in the Carabao Cup. So could be an option down the line, but I think we wanted to make sure that he is starting games first before we look at bringing him in. But just, yeah, what a player. His 5th goal of the season, that is already. 8 points and then 4 points for Núñez, also off the bench. Again, all these strikers, no matter in what order they rotate, they all do seem to get these attacking returns. So Gomez, lastly, 4 points, 1 bonus, 4 tackles. A lot of us brought him in this week. I think that's pretty much it for the Liverpool-Fulham game. Arsenal 0, Everton 0. So, like I said, I was at this one, so I couldn't make the deadline stream. We'll struggle to get sort of tweets and videos out and stuff as well. But had a good day out of the football. Last game on Match of the Day when I came back and watched it. So, just about summarised where the game was, to be honest with you. That tells you a lot that it was the last game. Not often Arsenal are the last game on Match of the Day. He had Gabriel back fit. Miles Lewis-Skelly, though, starting at left back was a little bit of a surprise. I thought if he was going to start a game this week, it was probably going to be that Carabao Cup match. We had Dwight McNeil, who had a knee problem. So my boy from earlier in the season, disappointed I didn't get to see him live, but maybe if he was playing, it may have been a loss for Arsenal. So yeah, shame we didn't get to see him live, but 0-0, what a poor result. So Ødegaard, someone that I brought into my team quite recently, did have 3 good chances in the first half. But he just seems a little bit rusty with his finishing. So he was getting in those positions, sort of edge of the box, ball across the box, but just, I think he skied one of them. It just doesn't seem to have his shooting boots on at the minute. He came back with a bang from injury and was doing really, really well. But maybe he just played too many games in a short period of time, because he does really look like he's struggling. He's been getting a few early substitutions as well recently. So I don't feel like he's fully fit at the moment. Arteta did say it was tactical, but sort of the Arsenal crowd I'm with, we were talking about, and it just seems like maybe he is struggling a little bit with something. In terms of my team, I think I will be looking to move him out ahead of this goal bonus. Declan Rice as well. I think he's probably in the same boat. He had a broken toe and also seems to be getting subbed early. And it's one of them subs where when it happens, you're a little bit surprised at the time. And so I do think that he's probably struggling with a little bit of injury as well. Kai Havertz, who I took out this week, just the 3 points. He was a frustrating watch as well. So a lot of the time, he was marked out of the game by Tarkowski and Branthwaite. So he was sort of drifting off into sort of wide positions, trying to make things happen, which obviously you're not going to try and want to stay on the defender when they're as good as Tarkowski and Branthwaite. So he was trying to get involved in the build-up play, but it just meant there was never anyone in the box for Arsenal to target. So really frustrating game to watch for Havertz. Has still got a game to come. And I do think that one of Havertz, Saka, maybe not Ødegaard, but will play in that Carabao Cup match, because I do think they're going to want to try and respond. I don't think a full rotation is what we're going to need for Crystal Palace. Bukayo Saka was the only player that really seemed like he was able to beat his man in this game. So Martinelli really struggled on the left-hand side. But Saka was doing okay up against Mikalenko. Came away with 11 ppm. So a lot of those were those dribble points. So 6 completed dribbles, 1 shot on target, tackle points, big chance created. So 8 points in total for Saka. It was an okay game, but he just can't do it all on his own. Talking about Martinelli, so on the other side, he just could not get past Ashley Young, who finished with 9 points, 7 tackles, and he just had the better of that battle the entire game. So fair play to Young, but Martinelli was really, really disappointing. And if you haven't got him out of your team already, I probably would be looking to do it, because he just looks short of confidence at the moment. And I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen little clips on Twitter, and it pretty much backed up what a lot of us were thinking during the game, watching that Martinelli Young battle. It looks like Henry was doing Monday Night Football and has been sort of laying into Martinelli's performance as well. So it wasn't just us. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, all getting the clean sheet, and Gabriel really close to getting 3 bonus points. So if you've got any of the Arsenal defenders or Raya in goal, you would have been pleased with that. Never really looked in trouble at the back. So defensively still look really, really strong, but maybe just a little bit to the detriment of the attack. It looks so controlled and so rigid that there isn't really much going on at the other end of the pitch. But if you're looking for defenders, looking for those clean sheet points, there's still nothing wrong with looking at Arsenal. Newcastle 4, Leicester 0. So I mentioned that we were getting goal alerts from the Liverpool game during watching the Arsenal game. I had a lot of people mentioning the Newcastle score during the game, and I didn't know who the scorers were. I can't ever really get a proper signal in the Emirates, but when I saw that it was 4-0 to Newcastle, I did assume that my captain must have had some part in that. So we had Dubravka starting in goal. in this one. Pope is out injured. They reckon it's going to be for about a month now. So Dubravka could be an alternative to Muric, or if you were looking at Forster, you might want to change your mind and go to Newcastle with Dubravka. He's seen a lot of action over the last few seasons when it comes to Dream Team with Pope having injuries. So he managed to get the clean sheet, 8 points and a bonus point. So as long as he does all right in midweek, should get a rise. He had Samari and Ndidi out for Leicester, which also made Isak look quite appealing this week. 17 points for Isak. Goal, assist, 7 ppm, 1 bonus point, 3 shots on target and 2 big chances created. So just a ridiculous performance from Isak, and a striker that I would love to have at Arsenal. Newcastle fans will be holding on to him tightly though. Gordon, heavily involved early on, so shot on target, creating a few chances and then assisting Jacob Murphy for his goal. One of 2 goals he went on to score in this game. He got 15 points. Gordon ended on 9 points, so 10 ppm, got him 3 bonus, and he seems to be doing pretty well for bonus this season. Much better off the left. There's been a few times where he's sort of played on the right-hand side this season. He doesn't quite look the same. But playing on that left-hand side, I think Gordon looked really, really good. Bruno Guimaraes, 8 points. He did have a penalty shout. Turned out to probably be a dive. But then he was booked for a late challenge, which was a bit of a naughty one. Probably could have been sent off for that. But then he went on to score. So 8 points and just a 3 ppm, which he does seem to do pretty well for bonus usually in previous seasons. But yeah, the last few he hasn't done as well for bonus. Maybe it's because Tonali's playing at the same time. I see Tonali there got 9 ppm and 3 bonus himself. So maybe that combination isn't as good for Bruno's bonus. But yeah, first goal of the season for Bruno. Got a Hall assist, and then got a second assist for a heavily deflected cross scored by Isak. So Hall came away with 18 points, 3 bonus and 2 assists. That's his 3rd assist of the season, and he's pretty solid defender for the price point as well. So he could be one to look at over this Christmas period where there's no European football. He's 3.6, and I imagine he's probably going to get a pretty nice price rise as well, bar anything crazy happening in midweek. Danny Ward came on in the second half, conceded 2 within like 4 minutes. He's also 1.8 million if you didn't quite fancy Dubravka or Forster, but I wouldn't go there. I would much prefer to have Dubravka or Forster at the moment. Isak assisted Murphy's second goal. So like I said, 15 points, 2 goals in that game. Isak 17 points. A clean sheet for Dubravka. So yeah, Dubravka may be one to watch for those, the price rise and a budget goalkeeper. Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. So Brentford back in their like 3-5-2 formation with Mbeumo as the striker. And he seems to do all right when it comes out like that. He's had some tough fixtures recently, and he seemed to do pretty well in the tough ones. So we'll come on to him in a minute. The shot on target from Jackson and Palmer early on. Madueke crossed to Cucurella for a back post goal. So Cucurella came away with 9 points in this game, but later did get himself in a bit of trouble. Madueke, 9 points. That's his 4th assist of the season. He's got 5 goals, grabbed a bonus point and 2 shots on target in this one. Jackson had a couple real big misses in the second half, but then went on to get his goal in the 83rd minute. So 11 points. And again, dodged getting his 5th yellow card. He's been on that 4th yellow card for a little while, and he just seems to still keep getting away with it. Carvalho came on as a sub, but hit the crossbar. Enzo Fernandez assisted that Jackson goal. So he got 11 points, and he's on a ridiculous run now of attacking returns. His 7th assist of the season, and also on 4 goals himself. So Enzo still carrying on his hot streak. One of these ones where it's a bit like Diallo. Him and Diallo, I've kept saying, I just don't know whether it's going to carry on, and it does. So maybe you just need to jump on these early when they happen. And Mbeumo, 12 points, grabbed a goal. Like I said, back-to-back goals now for Mbeumo. And yeah, I think a few people, maybe more on FPL, decided to move him out with the tough fixtures because he's had Villa, Newcastle, and Chelsea in his last 3, but he's got a goal against Chelsea, 12 points. And in that game against Newcastle, we came away with a goal and assist, 15 points. So Brian Mbeumo, one that I might be looking at potentially for next week as a midfielder slot. Palmer, no goal, no assist in this one. So slightly underwhelming for Palmer's recent form, but 7 points, 3 bonus. Still really, really impressive. Shot on target, big chance created. And then Sanchez in goal, another player that's on 4 yellow cards, actually. So you have to be a little bit careful. But he came away with 6 points for 3 saves and having 9 ppm, getting him free bonus as well. So, yeah, not a bad game for Chelsea there. I think they were more in control than what the scoreline suggests in this one. Oh, and I almost forgot the little bit of trouble that Cucurella got himself into. So obviously got his goal in the first half and it was looking really good. Tackle points as well for him. Obviously shot on target. Got a yellow card quite late in the game. Was causing a bit of trouble. I think he went down easily, costing Brentford a late free kick as well. But then it kicked off after the game and he ended up getting his second yellow after the game had ended. So we saw a bit of that this weekend with Wolves as well. But yeah, now he's on a suspension for the next game. So quite frustrating for Cucurella owners if there are any out there. Man United versus Man City, or Man City versus United. It was at the Etihad. 2-1 win for Manchester United. So Man City's woes continue. There was no Rico Lewis in the squad, obviously through suspension from the last game. So Matthias Nunes was in at left back. Foden came back in and started with KDB, something we haven't really seen that much this season. You had Rashford and Garnacho both left out of the squad for their behaviour or conduct. Amorim made out. Maguire came in at centre-back and Mazraoui and Dello as the wing-back. So Dello's been playing as a wing-back normally, but Mazraoui had been playing as that right centre-back, but he was trusted at wing-back and Ahmad was pushed on into one of the more attacking positions where he went to do very well. Mount went off injured inside 15 minutes, which was quite a shame. He just keeps having so many injury problems, becoming a little bit like Luke Shaw in that regard. Quite sad to see, really, because Amorim obviously is trusting him. He must be putting in the work sort of around the training ground and stuff. His conduct must be pretty good compared to the likes of Rashford and Garnacho to be starting games. But it just isn't happening for him, which is quite sad. Vardiol got the opening goal of the game. That's his 4th goal of the season now. So the highest scoring defender on the game. I think he's level with Gabriel now, who's also on 4 goals. So yeah, he does still have that attacking threat. Man City not looking good at the back when it comes to keeping clean sheets, but maybe he could be an option on the goal bonus. KDB did get the assist for that one. It was a deflected cross. Came with 7 points in this game, 1 bonus point, and he's on 2 goals, 3 assists for the season. But it was an early sub for De Bruyne, 68th minute, opting to bring on a couple more defensive players or a defensive player in Kovacic, but still didn't really help them. Foden got 4 points, a bonus point. He had a deflected shot, which was pretty close. I think Onana got a little touch on that one, but again, not the best performance from Foden. Mazraoui, who I kept, come with 5 points, got 6 tackles, probably got the better of the battle with Doku. And then Maguire coming into the side, getting 6 points, 10 ppm and 3 bonus. So could be one to watch. Comes in at a fairly reasonable price. Maguire at 2.6, but at the moment we still want to see what Amorim does with his defenders, because he didn't do it as much in this game, but previously he has made a lot of substitutions early in games, a lot of rotations. So I think we want to see a little bit more. Martinez at the back, but nice ball over the top for Rasmus Højlund, and there was a pen shout there. I think that probably could have gone either way. But then had a similar pass later on for one of the big moments of the game, which we'll come on to. Nunes playing a ball back was intercepted by Diallo, who rounded the keeper. And obviously Nunes came and took him out afterwards, gave away a penalty. So Bruno Fernandes stepped up, put that one away. So 11 points, a bonus point as well, 3 tackles for Bruno. So again, another really good dream team asset. Diallo got the assist for being wiped out by Nunes, and then went on to get a goal himself. So 16 points, 3 bonus, 2 shots on target, and 1 tackle for Diallo. So another one, like I said, he's been doing it week in, week out, really high up on the points for the sort of most recent game weeks. It's just annoying that he takes up a striker spot on Dream Team. If he was down as a midfielder, I think he would be in a lot of our teams, but it just seems a little bit off-putting, taking up a striker spot, especially going into like next week where a lot of us want to play like a goal bonus booster. But you can't deny he has been really, really good for United this season. Martinez, I mentioned, lovely ball over, and it almost ended in a penalty. Well, he played a lovely ball over the top, which Ahmad got onto the end of, rounded the keeper, and got the 90th minute winner. So 16 points, really, really good return. 4 goals, 8 assists now for Ahmad. The fourth highest point scorer over the last 5 game weeks. Haaland back-to-back blanks now for him. I still don't feel as concerned as a lot of people have been. I don't know if it's because I've built a little bit more budget and I'm not reliant on having to sell him to fund other players in my team. At the minute, I'm looking at my team thinking, well, if I sell Haaland, who do I actually get? I probably could upgrade Muric. But there's not many players in the game that I can't reach because I've built a bit of budget. So if budget was tighter, maybe I would feel the pressure a little bit more to maybe sell Haaland and use that money. But in Dream Team, it's been relatively easy to build budget, which makes selling him not as much of an issue for me. I still think he's a great goal scorer. He's got 18 goals this season. So when it comes to playing a goal bonus, I'm still going to want to have him in there. But maybe later on, we'll start to consider if this run does carry on. It's 1 win in 11 now for City, 8 losses in that time. Southampton 0, Spurs 5, an absolute battering, which left Martin getting the sack. Maddison scoring after 1 minute. In terms of the lineup, I'll come back to that. So Archie Gray came in at centre-back. There was obviously no Davies through injury, but Pedro Porro was also benched, which was a surprise. So Spence started this one. Maddison started, and then Bergvall and Sarr were just behind him in midfield. So it's 3 goals in 15 minutes for Spurs. Maddison got the first, assisted by Spence. That was Maddison's 7th of the season. And the second arguably could have been a Maddison assist as well. And he actually went on to tweet, I think it was after that, saying, "How did you know it wasn't my intended target?" Which he went to Son, and Son put the goal in. It was deflected, which was the reason why it was taken away as an assist from Maddison. But yeah, again, it just doesn't seem to be that much consistency when awarding these assists. Kulusevski got the third. He scored 2 in 2 last game week, makes it 3 goals in a row now. I took him out. It's quite funny. So he had like 7 assists, 2 goals, I think, for the season, which it seemed like his attacking returns were much more heavily weighted towards assists. So when it came to playing my max captain, I was kind of like, I want someone that's more of a goal scorer when I play my max captain, and then when I go into playing the goal bonus as well. And since then, he's gone on to score 3 in 3 games. So maybe I need to reconsider potentially bringing Kulusevski back into my team. So now 5 goals, 8 assists for the season, 9 points. And I still think he's only 3.6 million. So still a really nice price for someone that plays so many games. Udogie went off injured and was replaced by Pedro Porro. So you got a bit of jam there if you have got Porro in your team. He managed to play exactly 62 minutes. So you have to play 60 minutes to get the clean sheet. So yeah, not often that your defender subs on and then still comes away with clean sheet points. So he got away with one there, I think, Porro owners. But with that Udogie injury, he's probably going to have to be used now for the next couple of games. Son assisted Sarr for the 4th. And of course, by that point, all the Southampton fans were leaving. And then Son assisted again for Maddison's 2nd goal. So a quick recap of those goal scorers. Maddison, 16 points, got a goal. 2 goals, bonus point. 7 goals, 6 assists for the season. So again, right up there now for attacking returns and points. But he's just been a little bit frustrating how he's been in and out of the team. But there's no doubt when he is in the team, he does really well. Son, 19 points in this one, a goal, 2 assists, 6 goals, 8 assists for the season. Did get subbed off early, but yeah, at that point the game was done. And just the 1 assist for Dominic Solanke. So he really is a frustrating one on this. 5-0, and your striker is coming away with just 1 assist. Really, really frustrating if he's in your team. Forster got his 2nd clean sheet of the season. So if you've got him as your budget keeper, you'll be pleased with that. Forest 2, Aston Villa 1. So Ollie Watkins disappointed his owners last week, and then he's on the bench this week with John Duran starting. So hopefully those of you that had him did manage to move him on last week. Matty Cash playing like a advanced either right wing or right wing back role, with Konsa sort of playing as the right centre back / centre back, but still not not providing many points for Matty Cash at the back, and they're not keeping clean sheets either. So it's not really paying off, but something that we might want to keep an eye on for the next few game weeks. Surprised that Villa weren't awarded a penalty with Rodgers being dragged down by his arm. There was a little bit of pulling from both of them going into it, but yeah, I did think it was a pen watching that one back. I thought Morgan Rodgers had a really, really good game actually, but it just didn't really relate or translate into points in this game. So just the 3 points, 1 bonus for him. An incredible save from Martinez from a Forest corner, almost like a bit of a breakdancing save from Martinez. A little spin and poured it off the line. 4 saves in this game, but just the 3 points as they did go on to lose the clean sheet at the end. John Duran had a great headed goal. So he scored in 3 consecutive games. 11 goals for the season for Duran is just incredible. What a goal scorer. Yeah, at what point are they going to start considering maybe having to play him every single game? Yeah, really, really solid player. 8 points for him. Assisted by John McGinn, who got 7 points. There was a Chris Wood equaliser, which was ruled out by VAR. Milenkovic got the equaliser towards the end. So in the 87th minute, massive centre-back grabbed a goal. And that's 2 in 2 for him now. I was at the Forest Arsenal game, and just the size of those centre-backs is unreal. 10 points for Milenkovic. Morgan Gibbs-White grabbed an assist, 9 points for him. Bonus, 2 big chances created. And then Alanga, 90 plus 3-minute winner, assisted by Anderson, who seems to do really well for bonus on this as well. So he had 7 tackles in this game and then got 8 ppm as well. A really, really solid player when it comes to Dream Team. Rodgers, like I said, good game for him, but just wasn't really reflected in the Dream Team points. They had Tielemans as well, 3 points, 1 bonus. Seems to have tailed off a little bit in the last few game weeks. Brighton 1, Crystal Palace 3. Brighton have been surprising some of the results that they've had recently. You had a Chalobah opener. It was a bit of a goalmouth scramble after a corner. So 11 points for Chalobah, 7 ppm tackles, and that's his 2nd goal of the season. Assisted by Sarr, who I think it's fair to say didn't really know much about that assist that he was given to him, but he did go on to have a really, really good game. So he then got on the end of a Tyreek Mitchell cross. Tyreek Mitchell's 2nd assist of the season. 13 points, banked the clean sheet for being subbed off in the, what minute was it? 85th minute for Mitchell. So he done all right, avoiding the goal that was to come 2 minutes after that. Eze was subbed early in the 60th minute, 4 points, 5 tackles, but again, no bonus. So in the previous Man City match, no bonus points. And then this one, low ppm as well, no bonus points. Someone that we're used to seeing get bonus on a regular. So maybe something is tweaked at the moment with Crystal Palace, which is stopping Eze from getting the bonus. Munoz looked like he'd scored his 3rd consecutive his 3rd goal in 4 games, but it was ruled out. There was a little push that was spotted by VAR, so he didn't get that goal. And then he picked up his 5th yellow card, so he's going to be suspended for the next game. It would have been a Sarr assist for that goal as well. So Sarr absolutely involved in everything. He then scored his 2nd goal of the game, finishing off a great performance with 21 points, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 shots on target, tackle points, big chance created points, his 3rd goal and 3rd assist of the season. He's just 2.7 million. If you're looking for a bit of an enabler, I don't know whether this will continue, but we've said it before, maybe just get on it while it's a hot streak. Started 7 games in a row, so he is getting the minutes, strong minutes in all of those. Gahey was the one that blew the clean sheet for Crystal Palace late on in the game. So an 87th minute own goal, wiped out the Henderson clean sheet. I know a lot of people still have Henderson as their goalkeeper. I think he has still potentially got another game to come this week if he starts it. But that would have been a real kick in the teeth to concede that late. Wolves 1, Ipswich 2. Another result that led to another sacking for O'Neill. An early Doherty own goal put Ipswich ahead. Aït-Nouri picked up his 5th yellow card, which will see him suspended now as well. Picked up a 2nd yellow card after the game to suspend him. So actually that 2nd yellow card, where it led to a red card, will give him the suspension, but he'll also return to 4 yellow cards. So it's almost like a double whammy for Aït-Nouri owners. You're going to want to sell him. at this point. He had to be dragged away by Dawson at the end of the game. Complete head loss. Cunha got his goal. 14 points, left-footed goal from a tight angle. He only really does seem to score great goals. 3 bonus points, 3 shots on target, and his 8th goal of the season. I'll be really surprised if we don't find out soon that he's been banned. Elbowed, I think it was an Ipswich staff member, in the back of the head in a bit of a scuffle after the game, and then sort of grabbed his face and pulled his glasses off, which, yeah, I don't know what kicked that off, to be honest. I guess it was related to whatever happened with Nori as well. But yeah, just bad times at Wolves at the minute. So I would be very surprised if Cunha is not suspended. So he's probably going to be a transfer out if you've got him. There was a Taylor last-minute winner from a Clark corner, and Gary O'Neill has now been sacked. So waiting to find out who the new manager will be for Wolves. But if there's a new manager bounce coming, maybe there won't be a team that you want to target. But we'll have to wait and see who they get. Muric, the hero from the game for me, 7 points, 3 bonus points and 5 saves in this game. And then the Monday night fixture. So I didn't get to watch this one. We were podcasting live on the Dream Team Tonic podcast. So there'll be a link in the description below for the podcast. That'll be out later this week. We live stream with our Patreon and YouTube channel members. So yeah, if you're interested in that, you can join our Discord as well. There'll be a link in the description below. Bournemouth won, West Ham won. So Paqueta probably thought that he got the late winner in this game, 87th minute penalty. Wan-Bissaka got the assist for it, but it was just a cross that hit someone's hand. So it wasn't like, oh, look at Wan-Bissaka's attacking threat. When I first saw this, I thought, oh God, he's just scored 2 goals recently. He's now got an assist, but when I saw what the assist was actually for, don't get too excited. Paqueta put the pen away nicely. Bowen, just the 3 points. Look quite good for next week's double game week, but 3 points is a little bit disappointing. He did hit the crossbar though, so did come really close. Kudus coming with 5 points in this game, so always pretty good for bonus. 3 bonus points. He's had 8, 5, and 8 since returning from his suspension, so always pretty consistent as an option. Semenyo hit the post, 2 shots on target, 4 points, and then Unal got a great equalising free kick off the bench, 8 points. But yeah, not that many players in these two teams that would be interested in going forward on Dream Team. That is everything for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I've not done one of these recaps in a little while, so let us know if you enjoyed it. I'll have my usual top players to target video coming out later in the week. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.